Hi everybody, Mr. DeRosa here. Welcome back to Dear Mr. DeRosa. This week's question comes from the Rio Grande Valley Elementary School teachers from their program director. Thank you, Bryn. And the question is this: how do I integrate literacy, math into science and social studies? And I'm really going to talk about how to integrate all four together because it actually is pretty easy. There's many different ways to do it. The first way and the easiest way is to use a lot of reading graphs, tables, and charts. These type of information graphs are across all four subjects, and students need to be able to read them not only for standardized tests, but to be able to make sense of things out in the real world as well. Not just finding the information, but drawing conclusions. And I have a method that I've always taught my students which help them answer basically any question you might see thrown at them. Read the title. Figure out what the graph or chart is about. Read the labels and the scale. Figure out what is being measured, what's being compared. And finally, look at the information as a whole and what's the trend, what's the main idea. Is it increasing, only decreasing, is it scattered or going up and down? If you've answered those questions, you probably have answered all the questions that you're going to get. And that's before even looking at the questions themselves. One place to find those is number 2 on the list, which is the newspaper. Besides current events that cover all of these subjects, you find a lot of these graphs, and especially during election years, there's a lot of stuff to bring together math and social studies, not to mention literacy, together. Number 3, don't shy away from word problems. I know sometimes we have an inclination to avoid them because they're difficult when we're teaching different subjects, but as we know, standardized tests are covered with them, and it's a big part of reading comprehension to be able to figure out what these word problems are asking us. Teach them how to read word problems. Teach them how to figure out what's going on and what the question is asking them to do. Number 4, have them write journals. Where it's an open-ended question, an opinion that has to do with a topic that you're covering in science, math, or social studies. Make them open-ended and use it as a jump-off point to a discussion. It's a really great way to incorporate literacy into everything. Number 5, have them do experiments or have them just generally collect data and make the graphs, charts, and tables that we were talking about a moment ago. But also have them, write questions about that other students could answer about the information that they found and draw conclusions about it as well. Number 6, bring in stuff about real-life careers. I think most careers out there, it's safe to say, incorporate all of these subjects to some extent. So find those careers and either bring those people into the classroom or have a field trip and go to find those people. Number 7, use a word wall. A word wall is very familiar to elementary school teachers. But usually at the lower levels it's for sight words. I want you to use it for vocabulary words in every single subject, and that works great at the high school level. Number 8, use your TFA support network. Talk to your program director, and more importantly, go online to TFAnet and go to the resource exchange and seek out lessons that have already been created. Speaking of lessons, number 9, seek out quality resource books. Don't just blindly go online and find the first book about literacy in science that you find. Look at the reviews and then try and find someone you know in person or go to the bookstore in person and look at the actual content in the book. I'm not a big proponent of buying just any resource book because a lot of them are just worksheets that are meaningless and busy work. But if you combine online reviews with your offline experience, you should be able to find something that's halfway decent. And finally, most importantly, no matter what you're doing, have your children, have your students answer reflection questions. And what I mean by that are general questions like, how did you get your answer? Explain. What did you learn from this? What do you still not understand? What did you find the most interesting? And then most importantly, the best question of all, why? Some of the things I mentioned in the list I have written about previously more extensively. Those are the links you're going to see underneath the video on the blog. And otherwise, I look forward to your letters. You can email me at derosa@teachforamerica.org. I look forward to hearing from you.